Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, a legal setback for pension reform in San Diego. And the Coastal Commission hears the debate over seals in the La Jolla Children's Pool.
Tonight at the roundtable, the annual Stand Down to Help Homeless Veterans is about to get underway. This is the 25th year of the event. We'll take a look at how it's changed. And the majority of Southern California wildfires are accidentally started by people. What you can do to avoid sparking a summer wildfire.
As preview night kicks off at Comic-Con, we'll have a look at what the pop culture festival means for the industry that started it. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dwayne Brown. Two legal setbacks tonight for the city of San Diego over pension reform. A judge has put voter-approved Proposition B on hold until at least July 27th, and the state Supreme Court refused to block next week's hearing before the State Public Employment Relations Board. The decisions are a win for labor unions who claim they should have been consulted before Prop B went on the ballot. The city attorney says San Diego needs to develop its new 401k plan for new hires before the Secretary of State certifies the election. Otherwise, it won't be able to hire new workers. Certification, by the way, isn't expected until late July or early August. The California Coastal Commission has unanimously supported the city's proposal to keep the rope barrier up that separates seals and people at Children's Pool in La Jolla year-round. KPBS senior news editor Mark Sauer joins us from the News Center. What does the Commission's vote mean for the city, Mark?
Well, this was a request to throw the holy water of the Coastal Commission onto this proposal to have that rope up year-round, and they did, as you say, did that unanimously. But it's by no means the end of this long debate.
And this has been a heated debate, right?
Well, it certainly was. Today we had another long parade of folks with impassioned testimony on both sides. And at the end of the long afternoon session, the commissioners, as they reluctantly approved this particular rope year-round issue, they expressed grave concern over the vitriol and the intensity of this feud for how long it's gone on, and how it's really not about seals, it's about people. And the commissioners, one after another, expressed grave concerns about that. So we're certain that this is not the end of it. That's the only definitive thing that's come out of this session today.
Right. You know, the next question I was going to ask you, is this the final word on the issue?
No. And the city has a number of proposals coming up, more restrictions, things involving dogs on the sand, and the line in the sand has long been drawn, and it seems almost indelible. So we haven't heard the end of this by any means.
KPBS senior news editor Mark Sauer. Just like the restaurant industry, mobile food truck operators in San Diego must show they've passed a county health inspection. However, food trucks will receive decals instead of the blue letter cards to prevent the grades from being transferred among vehicles. County supervisors unanimously approved the ordinance today. Although the county inspects about 1,100 food trucks a year, they were not previously required to display the results. Truck operators who sell hot food prepared on the vehicles will pay about $50 more to have the trucks inspected. More than 100,000 pop culture fans converge on San Diego this week. Comic-Con promises a cultural and economic bang for many San Diego businesses, but KPBS reporter Eric Anderson finds that's not the case for the industry that created the event.
There is no question that San Diego's biggest summer convention is a pop culture blockbuster. The city's population and profile swells.
We don't even have to call it Comic-Con anymore. It's just San Diego. Inside the industry, whether you're talking to fans or retailers or the creative professionals, are you going to San Diego? Everybody knows what that means. It means Comic-Con.
Robert Scott runs Kamikaze in Claremont Mesa. The store features collectibles, clothing, books, and lots of comics. Scott's even written his own comic book. He calls the medium a perfect marriage of text and art.
Like trying to pull seasoning or ingredients out of a meal. You know, they may taste great on their own, but it's that marriage that makes the dish, you know, what it really is.
And he's excited about the Comic-Con boost. He says the convention is miles away from his store, but there will be 10 to 20% more people shopping there.
The comic industry is very insular and very niche right now, and has grown a bit, but a lot of the growth that's come from comics has actually been spurred by movies and video games and TV shows. You know, getting out to people who aren't already the usual suspects, the people who are already reading and enjoying comics.
The Avengers means mega ticket sales at theaters this summer, proving once again that comics hold economic muscle.
Power at 400% capacity.
How about that?
Part of the strategy of DC, Sony, and Marvel is that it's a self-feeding monster. People see the movie, they get into the comic books will spawn another movie.
David Drace owns Galactic Comics in Ocean Beach. He says his business started as a passion after his grandfather bought him his first comic books. But the comics have changed. He compares a 1968 comic to its 2012 version.
So there is Aquaman and his sidekick Aqualad. And then here's basically a panel showing Aquaman out of Justice League. And you can just see it's really night and day. I mean, look how much more shade is in the face. Look how much more detail is in the costume.
And Aquaman tried to make a splash on the small screen, television.
There are creatures in the deep you couldn't imagine in your worst nightmares.
Well, that's reassuring. Thanks a lot.
Comic book aficionados say the persistent interest from Hollywood makes the case that there is a future for the comic book industry that spawned the stories. Comic-Con founder David Glanzer says he's glad local stores are getting a business boost, but he says that's not why Comic-Con was started.
Some retailers who may believe that our reason for being was actually to help sales of comic books. I think that is the icing on the cake. That is a great benefit of but that's not necessarily the reason for it. It was to highlight this medium.
Glanzer says some people think Comic-Con has drifted away from comic books, but he disagrees, even though the convention has grown to embrace a lot more.
I think the future of comics is still a strong one. You're right, it goes through flows and ebbs, but I think that's true of almost any medium. Film certainly has experienced that, television, genres within those, so I think we'll be around for a while.
Glanzer says the San Diego event still has more guests, programming, and focus on comics than any other U.S. convention. Glanzer says it's a huge boost for a unique blend of art and prose.
Well, tonight is preview night for Comic-Con. Eric Anderson and arts reporter Beth Accomando are both covering the big event tonight and all week long. And you can find the stories on our website, kpbs.org. California's homeowner Bill of Rights is now law. Governor Jerry Brown signed the measure this morning. He says the new rules make the foreclosure process more transparent. He says they'll keep lenders from saying one thing and doing another. The new limits on foreclosure take effect January 1st. The former head of California's high-speed rail authority says the project's been mangled. Quentin Kopp was one of the leading advocates for the bullet train, but he says the revised plan signed by Governor Brown last week twisted the project into providing money for commuter rail services. He says the compromise plan is not what voters approved in 2008. Opponents of the plan have filed a lawsuit to stop it. Downtown San Diego's first permanent homeless shelter is running into some delays because of dangerous levels of lead paint. The Connections housing project was supposed to be finished in November. Now the completion date has been pushed back to December. When it is finished, it will house 223 people who will also be able to get health and legal services. A study from the U.S. Forest Service shows more than 90% of Southern California wildfires are apparently caused by people. Peggy Pico is at the roundtable talking about what can be done to improve the situation.
Last weekend on Mount Helix, a man accidentally started a fire with his weed whacker while trying to clear dry brush. The fire quickly burned through half an acre before crews were able to contain it. It reminds us that while we enjoy fireworks, campfires, barbecues during hot summer days, in fire-prone San Diego County, we have to be better prepared. Joining me to talk about how to keep from sparking a fire is interim San Miguel Fire Chief Gary Croucher. Chief Croucher, thank you so much for being here. Temperatures right now in East County, 80s to 90s. What's the fire danger right now?
Right now they're pretty extreme. It's not just the temperatures alone, but it's the duration of the temperatures, which affects the fuel moistures. And it also affects, as the temperatures come up, it affects the firefighters' ability to be able to actively go out and fight the fire as well. But currently, extreme conditions in the East County.
And high risk. And we'll talk more about what we can do about that. But CAL FIRE says 5,500 acres have burned in California so far this year in San Diego County for wildfires. Are there any current fires you guys are working on right now?
None currently in San Diego. There's some north of us. Yesterday there was about 75 acres in the San Bernardino mountains, and then further up the state, there's some other fires that we have sent, or CAL FIRE has sent some resources to assist with.
Okay, here's what's interesting is U.S. Forest Service put out some stats that were really surprising. Something like 94% of the wildfires in Southern Californians are caused by people. Are those arson, accidents? Does that surprise you?
It's a higher number than what I initially would have expected, and it's really all of them together, of how they start, regardless of whether it would have been a arson fire, whether it would have been an accidental fire, whether it had been a fire that was a controlled burn that escaped. But yeah, it's 94% is a pretty high number.
Yeah, we were just looking at video from the 07 fires, and was that was sparked by a person?
I believe so. There was the Harris fire in 2007 that I believed was caused by a human, and that's why one of the things of being here today is it's just really us, a partnership with the media, to be able to educate people. It's not it's common sense type of things that are happening that affect it. It's like the fire that was on Mount Helix that we had within San Miguel just a couple of days ago. One of the residents, of a homeowner, trying to do the right thing, weed eating, getting the weeds around, clearing the home. We asked for a 100-foot clearance from around the home with a 50-foot of all vegetation, but he set the weed eater down, and he set it down into the vegetation, and the exhaust from the weed eater was hot, and it sparked a vegetation fire. So he was trying to do the right thing, but just forgot some of the precautionary things that you should take into consideration.
Let's talk about the tips. Let's talk about, we have a little graphic we can put up for folks at home watching. Let's talk about the tips when you are clearing dry brush. What are a couple of the things? No power tools, you said.
Well, you can do power tools if you do them before 10 in the morning. As the day goes on, the heat index comes up. So if you're going to use your power tools before 10 in the morning, make sure that you have a water source close by. Make sure you have a shovel. One of the things we ask people to do too is make sure that they carry their cell phone with them. That if a fire starts, call us right away. The impact that we can make on a small fire is much better than letting the fire get large. But even when you fuel power tools, make sure you fuel them in the right area, over concrete or into the dirt away from the brush, but never fill them all the way, because you overfill them, and next thing you know, you have a fire on your hands.
And lawnmowers too. You're saying that lawnmowers aren't made for clearing brush.
Yes, lawnmowers are not made for clearing brush. They're made for mowing your lawn. People start to use them in the brush areas, and they hit a rock, which causes a spark. And then once again, with the lower humidities and the higher heat index, we then have a fire once again.
We're talking about these little fires at this point. How fast can that spread, and how quickly can it turn into something disastrous?
In a matter of moments. It's not only can turn disastrous with injury to yourself, or a lot of time with kids that are unsuspecting, but just with it takes just a little gust of wind, enough fuel load that's there, and a matter of minutes, the fire can have escaped your ability to control it, even with the right resources.
Are people who accidentally start fires, or even people who purposely start fires, are they fined for starting those fires?
It depends. We look at a case-by-case basis with those. For example, the Mount Helix event. This is a gentleman that was trying to do the right thing, wasn't malicious by any means, and we were able to put the fire out in a very quick manner with minimal resources. He will not be getting a bill. Now, if it's arsonist, absolutely. Arsonist, we go after full cost recovery. And not only is it a deterrent, but it also helps us with the costs that we're dealing with on a regular basis.
So case-by-case basis, but better just to prevent the whole thing.
Absolutely, through common sense type of events.
All right, Chief Croucher, thank you so much for joining us and for those great tips.
Thank you.
Volunteers are lighting up parts of San Diego to fight crime. The nonprofit group Rebuilding Together San Diego is offering motion-activated solar floodlights to low-income and elderly residents. A spokeswoman says crime rates drop in neighborhoods with the lights. A federal grand jury is investigating the death of an illegal immigrant from Mexico who was shot by Border Patrol agents from the U.S. with a stun gun. Anastasio Hernandez Rojas was shot at the San Ysidro port of entry in 2010. You may recall cell phone video of the incident has raised questions about the actions of the Border Patrol. The grand jury probe suggests the government is considering criminal charges after more than 2 years of silence on the politically charged case. The State Assembly's Republican leader wants an audit of the police force at California's developmental centers. Those are board and care homes for adults who are severely developmentally disabled. Earlier this year, our media partner, California Watch, looked into claims of sloppy investigations of patient injuries and deaths. Assemblywoman Connie Conway now wants an audit of police training and investigative practices. Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla is getting a $77 million federal grant to develop an HIV vaccine. HIV, of course, is the virus that causes AIDS. Researchers say AIDS drugs have helped folks live longer, but they say a vaccine is needed to prevent infection. The Veterans Village of San Diego holds its 25th stand down for homeless vets this weekend. Peggy and her guest are talking about it over at the roundtable.
There are more than 200 stand-downs for homeless vets across the country each year, and it all started right here in San Diego. Joining me to talk about what stand-down offers and how it's changed over the years is Phil Landis, CEO and President of Veterans Village of San Diego. Phil, thank you so much for being here. Tell us how stand-down, basically the philosophy of it, how it got started.
Well, this goes back to the mid-'80s, and our executive director, who then was Robert Van Kuren, along with our clinical director, who is Dr. John Natchison, were on a vacation. And the urban legend says that they were trying to figure out, what's going on in our community. They decided to find out how many homeless veterans there were and have a picnic, if you will, a camp out, and provide some services. The VA was involved in the very first one and continues to be. They're a major partner. They expected 50 or 60 people. Over 200 showed up, and from there it just grew.
What's it like today? How many people are showing up, or do you expect this weekend?
Well, I can only give you the numbers from last year. There were 1,003 participants. 1,003 homeless veterans joined us for a 3-day encampment. We don't know how many there will be this year. We do know that there are a record number, over 700, that are pre-registered.
Right. We're in San Diego. We are home to what I believe to be some of the, if we're not number one in the country, receiving new veterans, fresh veterans, I should say, coming over that are homeless. Right. Are you seeing more homeless people that are veterans? Are you seeing that dramatic rise?
Well, we are. In all of our programs, we're seeing about 22% now of our population are what we call post 9/11, which is a huge jump over just 18 months ago. We think that portion of the population is going to grow significantly.
And they have some specific concerns. I'm thinking mostly of traumatic brain injury.
Right.
Do you have things that will help address that maybe this year, that maybe a more emphasis on that at Stand Down?
Well, we're certainly better at categorizing it, and we know better what to look for. We're still scrambling as a nation of healers in what's the best modality and how to treat traumatic brain injury. It mimics, to the casual observer, post-traumatic stress issues. But it is very, very difficult.
What sort of services are offered at Stand Down?
Well, first we have a full medical facility that is provided by the VA. We have dental facilities that's provided by Balboa Hospital. And from there, the list grows to include eyeglasses. I mean, you'd be surprised if you can't see, right? We have employment services. Again, this is for homeless veterans, many of which, about 85% of which, have drug and alcohol issues. So we have on-site AA meetings, NA meetings. We have any service that you might need, or even those that you don't think that you need, to help you get on your way, get back on the course of life.
So it's a good starting point. Is there follow-up, or are you seeing the same veterans come back year after year?
Well, there's both. The follow-up is really critical. We work in San Diego. We have a continuum of care here that is unique to the community. In fact, San Diego should be recognized for that. We all work together. All the providers, public and private, work together as partners and provide resources as a community for individuals that happen to joined us at Stand Down.
How has Stand Down changed over the years?
Well, it's gotten bigger.
A lot bigger,
Yeah,
a lot bigger, from 200 to, you said, over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Over
That's
1,000.
one thing. And the number of service providers has grown dramatically as well. We even have a tent now of acupuncturists and massage therapists and, you know, I mean, whatever it takes. You know,
Excellent.
yeah, we're going to hook you. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if that's
If
what it takes.
acupuncture can help a veteran, why not? It helps me, so.
Yeah, I was going
why
to say,
not?
you know, I mean, by Sunday afternoon, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the questions I have are for people who are maybe not veterans or don't have a veteran in their family. Can they help? Can they participate and Stand Down, or what is the best way to help?
Well, we'll have over 3,000 volunteers. So think in terms of an encampment with over 3,000 volunteers, all from the community. I mean, all walks of life, all experience levels, you know, just, you know, folks out there, San Diegans, want to participate in some manner and help. So that's one way. The other way, of course, you can donate. Hello, we always need funds. It costs about $250,000 in cash to put the event on, plus another $600,000 or so in in-kind services.
All right. Well, there's a lot more information on our website, kpbs.org. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
The Weather Service says the hot temperatures in San Diego may start cooling a bit tomorrow. Forecasters say we have a possibility of thunderstorms in the mountain and desert, so they've issued a flash flood watch for those areas. Pacific gray whales had a baby boom this year. Biologists say twice as many calves were born this spring compared to last. More than 1,100 have completed their first migration north from Baja California to the Arctic Circle. Biologists say excessive ice in the Bering Sea may cause a dramatic drop in calf production next year. The Pacific gray whale population stands at about 20,000. And we've got an update on a story we brought you 2 months ago. It's about those 20 beagles rescued from a research testing lab in San Diego. 10 of the dogs graduated from obedience school on Saturday, and all of them have been adopted. One was adopted by a man who works in the research industry where the dogs spent most of their lives. Rebecca Stevens with the nonprofit Four Paws Rescue in El Cajon took in the beagles. She says the other 10 went to families in the Los Angeles area. 38 dogs and one loving cat are still available through Four Paws Rescue. See for yourself at petfinders.com.
Tonight in our public square, zombies, aliens, robots, and of course, Jedi Masters, among many others, can finally rejoice. Comic-Con is here. Twitter is abuzz over the 4-day convention that starts with a preview tonight. Actress Lea Michele from the hit TV show Glee tweeted, "So excited for Comic-Con this weekend. Can't wait to see my cast. It's going to be so fun. Who's coming?" Derek Hughes, a writer for the sci-fi TV series Warehouse 13, posted a somewhat poetic tweet. He wrote, "And I looked as the doors opened, and behold, there was a great surge. Halls filled to capacity as seats buckled and nerds roared." And Don McMillan joked, "Comic-Con starts tonight, which means that IT departments everywhere will be understaffed for the next 4 days." Are you headed to Comic-Con? Even if you're not, what do you think about this surge in tourists? Tell us about it on Twitter or on Facebook, or just email us at publicsquare@kpbs.org.
Recapping tonight's top stories, 2 legal setbacks for the city of San Diego over pension reform. A judge has put voter-approved Proposition B on hold until at least July 27th, and the state Supreme Court refused to block next week's hearing before the State Public Employment Relations Board. The decisions are considered wins for labor unions who claim they should have been consulted before Prop B went on the ballot. The California Coastal Commission has unanimously supported the city's proposal to keep the rope barrier separating seals and people at Children's Pool up year-round in La Jolla. The rope has been up only during pupping season or birthing season from December to May. Today's decision is not expected to be the end of the long-running debate. Just like the restaurant industry, mobile food truck operators in San Diego must show they've passed a county health inspection. However, food trucks will receive decals instead of those blue letter cards to prevent the grades from being transferred among vehicles. County supervisors unanimously approved the ordinance this afternoon. Although the county does inspect about 1,100 food trucks a year, they were not previously required to display the results. Operators who sell hot food prepared on the truck will pay about $50 more to have it inspected. And as Peggy just said, Comic-Con's preview night is underway at San Diego Convention Center right now. More than 100,000 self-professed geeks and nerds expected at the sold-out extravaganza. Some fans started lining up last weekend. This is Comic-Con's 43rd year, and the convention runs through Sunday. We've got Comic-Con coverage and all of tonight's news on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night.